Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Rosa and I'm here to bring you a pick a card reading this time. And I haven't done one in a while, but I feel really called by Spirit to deliver this reading to you guys today. Now, we are currently in Pisces season and we have Mercury retrograding in Pisces season. So I thought we would title this reading, or I thought I would title this reading, Will They Make Contact? Like, will they come back and make contact? It'll be something like that, right? Now, as you can see, we have 3 piles here in front of you. I will endeavor to timestamp this reading, you guys. But as you can see, we've got 3 piles here and each pile is labeled by a word now, or a keyword. These keywords that I've used for these piles are keywords that relate to the Pisces sun sign itself. You don't have to be a Pisces, of course, but I thought I would use 3 keywords that speak to the sign of Pisces. And because we are in Pisces season, I thought it would be really cool to bring these 3 keywords into this reading. So as you can see here, we have fantasy, we've got codependent, and we have the keyword intuition. So take a look at these piles. Feel into the keyword that stands out for you, that really speaks to you, that really is, that you're more drawn to. And that is going to be your pile for this reading, okay? So I'll give you a moment to feel into this. If you need to pause it and take a moment, feel free to do that as well. But we are going to start off with the keyword fantasy. So if you've chosen the keyword fantasy, we're going to start with you guys. We're going to timestamp this reading, of course. Okay. So we've got the word fantasy here. Now, I thought for some of you guys, it would be a really cool exercise. If you feel really drawn to this word fantasy, it would be a really cool exercise to grab a journal and grab a pen and just write around how this keyword speaks to you. Okay, because there's going to be really potent information within this journaling exercise that will come out that really, speaks to the word fantasy. For some of you, you may be fantasizing about this person, that you were connected to. You may be thinking about them and fantasizing about whether or not they're going to come back in to your life, and more so during a Mercury retrograde, okay? Because Merc retro does speak to going back in the past, revisiting the past, of course, and it can really speak to, communication taking place between you and someone from your past. Perhaps you've been disconnected for a while. Maybe you haven't had contact with them like forever and a day, and you're fantasizing about whether or not they will reach out, pick up the phone, things like that. So let's take a look at the first card that's come through for you in this pile. We've got a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. Now, quite obviously here, you could be dealing with an Aries, or you could be dealing with someone with their rising sign in Aries, or perhaps they have their moon sign in Aries, okay? That's what I'm getting here. Now, in regards to the question, will this person make contact? I feel like with a fiery climax approaches, I feel like they will, okay? I feel like it's going to be a clear yes for this group, okay? The fantasy group. However, if they do come back and reconnect with you or make some kind of effort to communicate with you, I actually feel like it could involve an argument. Okay, a fiery climax. I feel like there's an argument here. If they do make contact with you, it might be good at the start, but I feel like it will result in an argument. And I feel like this person, it's either something like that or this person is triggered. Okay, they're still quite upset. They still can't seem to let something go, or maybe you, the person tuning into this reading, can't let something go, so that when this person does make contact, I feel like an argument perhaps will break out between you. Now, I feel this person's coming back in because perhaps they may want closure. Okay, they're coming back in. They may want to communicate with you again because maybe they didn't get closure, and they're coming back in to close a chapter, to get that closure. Perhaps there is something on their mind and they're coming back in because they want to put it to bed. They want to put it to rest. Maybe their mind, their head needs to be put at ease. Okay, I feel like their mind, like they're very much up in their head about something, which is really pushing them into their ego. Okay, I feel like they're just very much in their ego, and they want answers. They want answers. They want some kind of an answer because they just want to put it to rest. They just want to put it to bed. Okay. Now, the next card that's coming through is New Moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. Now, I feel like after this contact is being made, I feel like it will be very beneficial. I feel like it's going to be a good thing. I feel like you're going to be able to take something away from this. We've got a full moon and then it's going into a new moon. Okay, so something reaches its peak, and then it's like with this new moon in Taurus, it's like wiping the slate clean, starting fresh, starting again. Okay, now we've gotten that out the way. Now that we've discussed what we've needed to discuss, now that this connection has, or this contact has been made, now I can breathe and start again. Now, what's really interesting is Aries starts off the zodiac and Taurus follows. So I find that very interesting how we go from Aries straight into Taurus, and that's how it is in the zodiac, in the 12 zodiac signs. It's Aries first, then it comes into Taurus. So I find that very interesting. You know, so with that, Aries being first and then Taurus being second, I feel like this process has to happen. Like this process has to happen in order for this, you know, new beginning, new start, fresh start to happen, you know. So yeah, I feel like that's how that speaks. Now the next card is the comparison card. As we can see here, we've got two horses. They're looking at each other, they're facing each other, they're kind of rubbing noses, but I'm getting here that I'm getting here a bumping of heads. That's what I'm getting. And I feel that there could be a clash of egos here. If they do come back in and they do make some kind of communication, I feel like there will be a clash, a bumping of the egos. And what I'm really getting from this comparison card is that the way you both communicate, it'll be like comparing. It'll be someone pointing the finger going, I do it like this, you do it like that. Why can't you do it more like how I do it? Or I never said that, but you say this, and it's like that. It's kind of just like that toing and froing, and it's sort of, I want to say it's sort of not being productive. Like it's not productive to be doing that. But with this new moon in Taurus card right here, I feel that they coming in and trying to seek closure, putting something to rest, it'll be beneficial. Because if you're still continuing to bump heads and not see eye to eye, then them returning will be a good thing. It'll be a good thing in the way of, okay, we can really just put that behind us. We can really close the door on that and we can move forwards, right? Now let's take a look at the tarot cards. We've got the Four of Cups in reverse. We've got the Two of Cups here. We've got the Ten of Wands in reverse. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so Four of Cups in reverse. I feel like this card here really ties in with the keyword fantasy for some reason. I just feel like someone is fantasizing about this person coming back in and maybe having this idea in their mind that it's going to be a certain way. Like when they return, it's going to be like, you know, this amazing reconnection. But I actually feel like with the Four of Cups in reverse that it's not going to be as you perhaps imagine it to be. Okay, so if you're, because what I'm getting here, this Two of Cups, okay, this is soulmate energy. At one point, this person was your soulmate. As you're tuning into this reading, you're probably still thinking, yeah, I still feel really strongly connected to this person. We had amazing times, you know, this person really got me. And I feel that's the fantasy there. Okay, hoping and wishing for it to get back to this stage of really reconnecting and communicating effectively, you know, just being on the same page. I see the two people in this card really being on the same page. And I feel like that's where the fantasy is at, like fantasizing that you could perhaps be in this space again with this person. But with the Four of Cups in reverse, I feel like it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be how you're fantasizing it to be. Because see, these Four Cups are upside down and it's only the number 4, which not a lot of energy goes into these cups. It's like, meh. And if they do return, if they do come back in, which I do see it, I do see them wanting to make contact, but I just don't see them really invested. I feel like they're coming back in because they need to resolve something. They need to settle something in their mind. They've got something in their mind that they just can't seem to let go. And that's literally it, why they're coming back in to make contact. It's for selfish reasons. You know, they're not, yeah, and that's why I feel like this, you know, argument or them returning will be beneficial because you could really like close the door on that, put it to rest, put it to bed kind of thing. Then we've got the Ten of Wands here and it's upside down. It's in the reversal, which tells me that this person will come back in, but they're not invested here. Okay, Ten of Wands in the reversal is telling me that they're not invested in wanting to build something with you or repair this. I feel like they're just coming in for themselves. Okay, that something is really weighing heavy on their heart or their, you know, internals, and this is more like self-absorbed energy. They're coming back in for themselves. if it was upright, I would say, okay, they're prepared to put in the hard work and really work at this. But in the reversal, I see, no, it's for themselves. They're not invested in putting the necessary time, energy, and effort into rebuilding this connection. They're just heavily focused on themselves. They've got other things perhaps going on in their life that they're focused on at this time. And with the Knight of Pentacles here, I feel like they're more focused on their career, their business, their coin, their money, their finances, okay? They're more focused in that direction. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is also a very slow moving energy, okay? So they're not rushing in and making any promises anytime soon. I just feel like they're still guarded. You can see here the Knight of Pentacles, he's fully armored. Okay, he's fully armored, and so is his horse, literally. Like, his horse is all bound up, and he's just got his sights on work, career, money, and building into things that are priorities for him. Now, you could be dealing with a she too, but a knight is a knight, so I have to label it a him. The other card we've got coming through is energy flows where my intention goes. Okay, so I really do feel with this card that's that fantasy. I feel like someone's really in their head fantasizing about this connection, about this person, about the kind of relationship you once had. Okay, but I don't necessarily feel that kind of focus or focusing on that is going to be helpful or wise at this time, because this Four of Cups in reverse, it's like a big letdown. Okay, if you're escaping the reality, hoping it to be something that it's not, you will be let down with the Four of Cups in reverse, okay? So yeah, just focus on, just be mindful. Be mindful of where your energy or your thoughts are going and what kind of thoughts you're entertaining. And the last card that's coming through is the Sustainer. Now, I feel like that this person knows, like if they come back in, they just know that you, for some reason, I'm getting with the Sustainer that you just keep putting up with it. The Sustainer can endure situations or behaviors. They can endure, you know, the way people treat you. You can just I'm just getting endurance, like putting up with. And I feel like they come back in because you just seem to somehow put up with it. But you keep putting up with it. So they are aware that, okay, they keep putting up with my shit, my bad habits, my excuses. They keep putting up with my excuses. And this is how they are coming in. So they're not really coming in a changed person. because they know on some level that you just keep putting up with it. I hope I'm explaining that clearly, guys. So with that, to close out this pile's reading, is see how there's a box shape around this pair of hands that seems to be sustaining this ball of clay. It's like, okay, if you've chosen this pile, you need to somehow put your wall up or your boundaries up. So if this person keeps coming back in because for some reason you just keep putting up with their excuses, or you just keep accepting their excuses, I feel like the message with this card is it's time to put your boundaries up. It's time to say no more. I get it. We once had a beautiful connection, but this is not serving me anymore. Okay? It's not serving me anymore. If anything, even with this 10 of Wands, it's a burden. Okay? And you're not wanting this burdensome energy. But I feel like you just keep going back to this soulmate love. That's the glue of all of this reading, okay? It's like fantasizing about this soulmate connection that you once had. But it's you once had it. I don't feel like anything's changed. And if anything, when they do come back in and they make contact with you, I actually feel like you're going to see it. You're actually going to see it. And them making contact with you will be beneficial because you will finally see them for who they really are. And then you'll find it so much more easier to put those boundaries up. Okay, guys? So hopefully that helped for pile number 1. We chose pile number 1. I'm just going to put them aside. Grab all of those. Okay, let's go to pile number 2. So if you chose pile number 2, you chose the word codependent. Again, pile number 2, there's a reason why you were drawn to this word. You may be codependent in nature. Maybe the person that you're thinking about or dealing with is codependent. A really great exercise, as I suggested with pile number 1, a really great exercise is to just grab a pen and paper or a journal and a pen and journal around why this word means something to you. Like, just journal, just get it all out, like unpack it. You know, Mercury retro in Pisces season is really telling us to go within. Okay, it's not really a time to overtly express, you know, with another, but rather going within and having that conversation with ourselves. And a journaling exercise is a really good way to have a conversation with yourself using this keyword codependent. Now, the codependent is not a healthy pattern or behavior. It's not healthy. It's not conducive to any relationship, but yet we can find ourselves in this dynamic. Okay? So let's have a look at the first card that came through. We've got hold your vision. I feel like if your person is, I feel like they're thinking about making contact. Okay, so they're thinking about it. Will they? We'll see with the rest of the cards, but I feel like they're thinking about you during Mercury season. I feel like they're thinking about making some kind of contact with you. The person that you're dealing with, I'm getting that they could be a Taurus, a Leo, a Scorpio, or an Aquarian. Okay, so it could be any of those signs. For some of you, that will be confirmation. But I feel like they're thinking about coming in and making contact with you. So there's a strong possibility that they might. Okay. Now, the next card that's coming through is pleasure and pain. So with this card, I'm getting conflict. So they are thinking about communicating with you or reaching out, phoning you, ringing you. So when they think about you, they feel really compelled to send that text message or email or pick up that phone, right? They feel like they want to. They feel into it, and it's like, oh, it'll be a nice experience if I do. But as quickly as they feel that, there's some element of pain attached to it. Now, it could just be the very thing, codependency. Maybe you, the person who's listening in on this reading, is the codependent one. And maybe they feel like if they come back in and they make communication with you, that codependence is going to be activated. Does that make sense, guys? And I feel that that's why they're just thinking about it at this stage. Now, with all of these keys here, I feel like they want to try. They want to try and put some things to the test, perhaps. Now, these keys could be solutions. Maybe they want to try different solutions on how to maybe come back together. Maybe they've tried, when they were in connection with you. These keys are just, to me, symbolism of solutions. Trying different things. Maybe you gave everything a go. You ticked off the list. You're like, yep, I've done everything. There's nothing that I didn't try and solve this or sort this out. Or equally, this person coming back in, when they're thinking about making contact with you, I feel like they may just want to try something different. These are solutions. Yeah, they're solutions. And that's a good thing. Okay, let me just pop them like this. Now, the tarot cards that we've got the Emperor in reverse. I hope you can see that. Emperor in reverse. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got the High Priestess, and we've got the Temperance. So quite clearly here, I feel like with the Emperor in reverse, for some of you who chose this pile, you're dealing with a male, a man. They could be older than you. This person could be very in their ego. They could be married. They could be a fatherly figure. But he comes in the reverse. So I feel like if this person does come back, there's something about this Emperor that's telling me that they feel like they can't quite, if they come back in, they just can't seem to control it. They can't control how you might react to them. Something's out of their control. And they're very well aware, which is why I feel like they're thinking about the way they're going to approach you. They need to think about, well, if I want to make contact with my person, how am I actually going to go about doing it? What would be the best method or the best approach? And I feel like the codependent and the Emperor in reverse really goes hand in hand, guys. It's out of their hands. If you're the codependent one, they just know that they can't change that about you. They have no control over that. But what they do have control over is whether or not they should come back in or not. They know that. That's why the Emperor's in reverse. He's kind of like on pause. And as I say that, we've got the Hanged Man here, okay? The Hanged Man's just hanging there. He's just hanging there waiting, thinking about, will I, won't I, shouldn't I, what am I going to do? You know, the Hanged Man also is looking at a different way of approaching this or you. How do I make contact with my person? I need to try something different. I need to try a different approach, something that I haven't tried before. But as you can see here, when the Hanged Man shows up in its upright position, he's just thinking about it. He's not really taking action. Okay, there's not a lot of action taking place here. Even the Emperor in reverse, there's a resistance there. The Emperor is really holding himself back because he knows he can't control you, or he can't control what's going to happen if he does come back in, right? Now, the High Priestess here, I feel like they're really just going with their intuition on this one. Okay, maybe they're waiting for some kind of a sign. Maybe they're waiting to feel when the time is right. That's what I'm getting with the High Priestess card. I just get the feeling that their intuition is heightened at this time. Their awareness, their intuition is really heightened, because you can see the image in this card, this woman, she's sort of up in the air. And I feel like that's a heightened energy, okay? So the intuition of this person, their awareness is really heightened at this time. Yeah. This person that you're thinking about, asking whether or not if they're going to come back in and make contact with you, I feel like they're very much in their head. They're very much in their mind with all these cards. We've also got the Temperance here. I feel like this person is really holding themselves back. Okay, they're the Emperor and the Temperance. Temperance speaks to moderation. Okay, they're really moderating themselves. They're really just, they're being very tight with their energy of how much they're literally giving out. I just feel like they're holding back. They're holding back. Even with the Temperance card here, because they don't want to come back in and cause or create codependent energy again. That's what I'm getting. They don't want to activate that within this dynamic. So I feel like they're just, they're thinking about it. They're being cautious. Now, the next card that's coming through, we've got true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. I feel like this message here is more for the person who is tuning in, watching this. The person who has this codependency, I feel like that's who the message is for. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Now remember, this person may trigger you, or perhaps you, with this pleasure and pain, this person, you may trigger them. You may trigger them or they may trigger you. As good as this person makes you feel, they may also make you feel pain as well. And that pain could speak to triggers. So just, if that speaks to you, sit with them, be aware of them, observe what's coming up at this time. Give yourself permission to heal those triggers at your own pace, in your own time. If you have codependency issues, feel free to, pick up a really good book around codependency. And the last card that we've got for this pile is the Mystic. Okay. Now, the Mystic speaks to someone who just knows things, okay? Just knows things, is quite intuitive. But I'm really drawn, not so much to the word the Mystic, but I'm really drawn to the butterfly here. And butterfly speaks to transformation, change. And maybe through this connection with this person, or perhaps this person's going through some changes, maybe they're trying to change that codependent connection. Or maybe they're helping you change this codependent behavior. But I feel with this butterfly, his or her wings are really outstretched. So I feel like some development, some progress will be made. Perhaps during Mercury retrograde, okay? Perhaps during this time when Mercury is stationed in the sign of Pisces, helping us to go within and look at our own limits, okay? What limits us, what holds us back from reaching for our dreams and our goals, okay? So there's pile number 2, the codependent. I hope that helps you guys. I really do. Now we're going to go to the third pile. So if you chose intuition, okay. So intuition. For those of you who chose the word intuition, like I told the other 2 piles, a really good exercise with this keyword here in front of you is to grab a journal or grab a paper and a pen and just write down everything that comes to you regarding this word intuition. Okay, I feel like there will be valuable information for you at this time. Once you allocate some time to really do this activity. For some of you, maybe you haven't been listening to your intuition and maybe it's time to really just tune in and hone in on this gift and this tool that you each have inside of you. Maybe you have disconnected from your intuition and spirit is wanting you to, say, hey, it's time to listen to the signs, listen to the messages that we're giving you, okay? You each have, access to this tool that lives inside of you. Maybe your intuition is very powerful and strong at this time. After all, we are in Pisces season and Pisces is very intuitive, okay? anyone who knows a Pisces knows that their intuition is a powerhouse. Like, they're very intuitive. They just can really hone in on the energies of people and situations because they're very empathic. And maybe you're feeling that energy. So whatever it is, you guys, journal around it. It's a really beautiful exercise to bring in at this time, especially while Mercury is stationed in Pisces. Okay. So let's find out if your person will make contact with you at this time. The first card that we've got coming through is a time for healing. So I do want to be honest, and I do want to say I don't feel like they will. I feel like the person in question here is really needing to just be alone. The person that you're dealing with may be, I'm getting that they may be a water sign or very sensitive by nature. The person that you're dealing with may be intuitive and they just feel intuitively that they just need time alone, time out. They just need seclusion because they are trying to heal from something. So I do have to be honest, I don't see them making contact during this time. I feel like this is a time for healing for them, and perhaps that may mirror something back to you where you can just take some time out and use this time instead of focusing and wondering if they're going to, you know, send you a message or phone you or email you. Maybe use this time to, you know, use this opportunity to heal instead, okay? Whatever may be lingering there. The next card that's coming through is initiation. I feel like for the both of you and for this person that you're thinking about, I feel like they're going through something. The initiation is like a rite of passage. They're going through some kind of rite of passage. I feel like whatever they're going through, it's new territory for them. Okay? It's new territory for them, but yet they need to go through this process. They need to go through this passage, this portal. Their intuition is pulling them, is telling them it's time. Now, I'm also getting to that this person that you're thinking about may be sending you messages through your dreams, okay? We do have a dream catcher here in this card, so you may be dreaming about them a lot more during this season. And you might be heavily on their mind as well. So you might be dreaming about each other, but I don't see physical contact being made. I don't see them picking up the phone and ringing you and sending you messages, asking, you know, let's go out on a date or let's talk. I just do not see that happening within these cards. And there's nothing wrong with that. Probably now just isn't the right time, okay? Because we do see loads of healing needing to be done. Now the tarot, we've got 10 of Swords, we've got 2 of Swords. Now this is what's really interesting, okay? We've got 9 of Swords, and then we've got the King of Wands. We've got a lot of Swords energy. We've got a lot of mental energy coming through. So this person is very much in their mind. They're very distressed mentally. They may be having trouble sleeping even, because we do have the 9 of Swords here. Okay, this person may be extremely stressed out, extremely worried, extremely fearful. Okay, they're so heavily in their mind and their thoughts, and it's really debilitating them. And when someone is in this Nine of Swords energy, and even this Ten of Swords, because Ten of Swords, this person is in pain. We've got the full Ten of Swords here. This is painful for them. This is uncomfortable for them. They are going through something really dark and heavy here. And when someone is going through this, look, I could even say they're probably going through a dark night of the soul. This is the initiation, okay? They're going through some kind of passage, portal energy. Now, if someone is in this kind of state, it is best that they stay where they are. Because otherwise they're going to come back in and they're bringing all that pain and all that trauma with them into the connection. And then that's not going to be beneficial for anyone, okay? So it's best to leave them in this space. It's best to leave them where they're at. Because I feel like even if they were to make contact, I just don't see it being beneficial for either of you, really. We've got the Two of Swords, which speaks to indecision. There's conflict here. Okay, there's some kind of conflict taking place with this person. I feel like they're intuitive, but I feel like they're trying not to listen to their intuition. I feel like they know what it is that they should do, but maybe they're ignoring it or choosing to ignore it or choosing to not look at it. Maybe this person feels compelled to make contact with you because the Two of Swords, like this is neither here nor there. This is undecided energy. They're undecided. They could be very well thinking about making contact with you. But I feel with the Two of Swords, they won't because they're not sure. You know, when you're not sure about something, it's best just to sit on it. And I feel like that's what they're doing. They're just sitting on it. They're not sure. You could be dealing with a Libran too, guys. Whoever chose this pile, I feel like you could be dealing with very strongly here a Libran, or you could be dealing with a fire sign. The King of Wands here is a fiery energy, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I feel like with the King of Wands, though, that this person is quite intuitive. The King of Wands is intuitive. He's listening to his heart. The King of Wands listens to his heart. And I feel like his heart is telling him at this time to just sit tight and heal whatever pain or betrayal or fears that are coming up at this time, right? The King of Wands is also an energy of someone who is certain, though, because we've got uncertainty here. But I feel like they could be feeling uncertain, but at the same time, they just know, well, if I'm feeling uncertain, then I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to stay put. It's like that. Okay, so another card that's coming through is My Fearless Freedom Lights Up the World. I feel like the person in question here is really trying to mentally free themselves up from fear-based thoughts, worries, and stresses at this time. That's what I feel like they're doing, guys. And the last card that's coming through, we got the Self card, okay? So they are just focused on themselves. They are doing them. This is about being by oneself, the self. They're very heavily invested in healing themselves and just doing what is right for them what is best for them at this time. I feel like this person is very much in alignment with themselves. They are really called by their heart to just focus on themselves. Okay, this is really key. This is really crucial. I feel that they need to gift themselves this time to come back to wholeness. I'm also getting that this person could be quite creative, you guys. So you could be dealing with someone or thinking about someone here who is generally quite a creative person. They could be a visionary. They could be an entrepreneur too, just putting it out there, because I'm also getting that kind of energy. But I feel like with this card that your person is very shattered. They're shattered. They're broken. And they are really just gifting themselves the time to repair and heal and clear out fears and worries and anxieties that are just really debilitating them right now. So yeah, they're going through some heavy stuff, you guys, and it's best just to leave them in that space until they clear it up. Then yeah, it's best to just leave them in that space. So there we have it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and until another time, I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.